Hey guys, so I've had the OnePlus 3T for a couple of days and I wanted to report on what the main failings are of the device here. I like to do the OnePlus Fails edition because I think while OnePlus is doing very well in terms of bringing a nice phone to the market, they always seem to find some way to make it so that it's not the perfect kind of package. So I wanted to examine those failings in this video, have a look at what could be better on the OnePlus 3T now that I've had it for a couple of days. And first things first, let's talk about the actual build of the phone. I have noticed, even just after owning it over the last couple of days, the actual front screen here has already started to get some scratches on it. It's not like I've been abusing the device as well. I've really been trying to look after it. And if you look really closely, you should be able to see there are some like scratches coming on the device already. So that's a little bit frustrating, given that it's supposed to have the latest kind of Gorilla Glass protection. Some people might say, why don't you keep the screen protector on? Well, I've never had to use these things for many other phones, so I don't understand why I have to use it for the OnePlus 3. But nevertheless, that is a little bit annoying. It means that obviously you're probably best to use a screen protector with this particular phone. Next thing which I have noticed about the phone is that the Wi-Fi performance hasn't really improved over the from the previous model. I have already done some tests with the Wi-Fi, and it seems to it picks up a decent signal, but it doesn't get like the maximum speed that I'm used to. Where I'm from, I'm getting like 200, and most of the time I can only really get like 100 or so. So I think that OnePlus is cheaped out here when it comes to the Wi-Fi kind of performance, probably to keep the price down. But where I am again, the price isn't really that cheap anymore. And that's another thing I'm going to talk about now is the actual price. While it is still, quite a good deal for what you're getting, I don't think it's quite as good a deal as what we got with the OnePlus 3, which that came with an amazing price point of like where I am, €300. So they've definitely hiked up the price here to €400 for the entry OnePlus 3T. As I say, it's still a good offer, but when you consider you could probably get an earlier year phone like the HTC 10, Galaxy S7, etc. for coming to that price now, it doesn't seem to be that good of an offer really, particularly when you consider these phones have waterproofing, boom sound in terms of HTC's case, and arguably better cameras. And the next thing I want to talk about is the actual camera here on the OnePlus 3T, which is still very solid, but it doesn't seem to be quite as good as what other phones are offering at the moment in terms of like the features as well as the performance. It's like it's relatively unchanged. I was expecting it to be a little bit better in terms of the actual quality. It's got no dual pixel or anything like that in terms of the features, and it feels a little bit still half baked compared to other phones on the market. It does a good job generally in most conditions, and they have improved the front-facing camera. It's just I would have liked to have seen probably some improvements on the back camera. Maybe add another sensor, so you've got a dual camera to do the refocusing good stuff and things like that. So this is definitely not going to compete with your Pixel, your iPhone 7 or your Galaxy S7 in terms of the camera. It'll get the job done. But I think OnePlus could have given us a little bit more here to justify the actual price hike. So that's a little bit annoying. The other thing, as I said before, is that we're not getting any waterproofing, I don't think, and we're not getting any micro SD expandability still. Those things would have been nice to see because we can get them on other phones. So those are just my top 5 things here, which I think a bit failure with the OnePlus 3T. It's a good phone overall, in terms of what it brings to the table, but I think it's not really 100% necessary if you ask me. I think they should just focus on the OnePlus for, really, because the OnePlus 3 in itself was a fantastic phone, and this feels like, like an S model, like what Apple does. Slight improvements here and there, not massive improvements to make you wow kind of thing. So yeah, just a quick little video looking at those things. Some people do want to know what the bad things are of phones, and everyone seems to be hyping up this phone, and I wanted to provide some balance here. So yeah, hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.